So on an interior repaint, we're going to be able to move all of your large furniture. What I'd like for you to move is your small breakables. So if you've got a glass collection, think anything you wouldn't want to pay a painter to move, or you've got a whole bunch of little stuff that's very easy for you to move, and it saves you time and or saves you money if you have yourself take care of that. So if you've got a little collection, even if they're not valuable or not breakable and it's just going to take time, you can move that for us. We're always going to move the large furniture. We're always going to move your large wall hanging. So imagine you got a large picture on the wall. If you've got something that's elevated, please leave it for us and we'll bring it down. If you've got a small collection that's up high and you're going to need to get on a ladder, don't bother getting on a ladder. Our guys will hand that down to you. So your small collections, you don't have to move them around out of this room necessarily. You can either put them in a box. Sometimes you can just set it right on a chair or the sofa or something like that and lean it up so it's safe, and that'll be fine. If we're not doing ceilings, you can actually cover the bed and put as much stuff on as you want. So like in this room, we're just doing the walls. So you could put any of your personal belongings on top of the bed. We move the bed and the personal belongings get moved with it. So some of the other things that we'll have difficulty moving is if you've got a bookcase that is one of the more inexpensive bookcases that have been screwed together, or their kits, they don't like to move and stay together. So we would have you lighten it up. So you can typically leave like books on the bottom, 2 shelves, but the rest we'd probably have you lighten the load, and then we can put moving pads under that and move it. A lot of times people have wall hanging TVs nowadays, so we can always take care of that. Don't worry about the TVs, the equipment that's wired to that, we'll always take care of that. We're probably going to move lamps or anything with a shade on it out of the room. We'll typically move plants out of the room, but if you've got small plants, we'd appreciate it if you went ahead and moved those out of the room. So just think little simple things that you can easily move. Go ahead and move, but please don't move the heavy stuff. You've got a heavy entertainment center, you've got a heavy break front, heavy china cabinet. Don't worry about it. It doesn't take much strength for 2 of our guys to lift 1 quarter up. We slip a moving pad underneath of it and work our way around, get a moving pad under all the corners, and then it just practically moves like it's on wheels. Almost everybody's got a king bed in their home nowadays, and king beds are terribly heavy with today's mattresses. So we know we just got to get under there, put moving pads under every corner and under the center supports, and then it's like that bed is on wheels and it just moves along just fine for us. Washers and dryers, we'll take care of that. Or when we move them back and we make the connection, we'll make sure they're not leaking. Everything's fine there. And we're going to cover up the floors. We're going to cover up the furniture. So you'll see we bring in our drop cloths. Everything gets covered up. And so we're going to bring this up and over all the furniture, and we drape it all the way down to the floor. And I'll need one more drop cloth here to get this side protected. So one thing is different about us, I launder our interior drop cloths, so they're going to get washed about every second or third job. If we're in somebody's home and they have a lot of dog hairs or cat hair, they're always going to get washed. Even if they were just washed, we're not going to bring somebody else's cat or dog hair, or if they got a home that's got a lot of lint in it. The guys know, bring it back to the shop, we're going to launder those drop cloths. Our drop cloths that go on furniture never get laid on the floor. They don't get used on the floor. These things are always clean. We'll wash them still just as often. They do get a spot of paint on them here or there from when we're working over them, but we're not walking on these things. So you can be assured that the furniture drops that we use on your furniture haven't been in somebody else's home and we've been walking all over them, or they've been picking up all the dirt from somebody else's home. So that should cover about everything that we'll do for protecting furniture. And then once everything's in the center, moved out of the way where we need it, and we get it covered up, then we start doing the prep, and we'll start masking up the baseboard, masking up the trim, and then we're ready to move on to all that, fixing all the repairs, and everything's ready, and we're ready to start painting.